So, good evening all. Welcome to Community Board 9's General Board meeting for the month of December 2024. I'd like to welcome a lot of our special guests here this evening. I've met along the way. A special thank you for coming out to the Grant Houses Tenant Association. It was a pleasure being with you on the float, and we made a big impression on people. Thank you and your group. Appreciate it. We are going to try to move this along quickly so we can have our holiday celebration and be thankful for all that we've done, and thank all those as we go forward. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our City Council member, Sean Abreu, a former CB9 member. I know you have a schedule. So. Mike?
Well, good evening, Community Board 9 members. How you all doing tonight? I know it's been a little bit of a while that I haven't been here, but I know Gabriela Carella has been here month to month, and she's still here with us today. Hi, Gabby. So I want to just, first of all, wish you all a happy holiday. This is a good time for you all to enjoy the dinner that CB9 provided and local partners, but also for you to enjoy your time with your family members and friends. Really, this year, there's a lot to be proud about, and you should all be very proud of all that you've been able to accomplish. I just wanted to talk really quickly about the things we're working on in the City Council. I've introduced a bill on sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a condition that interrupts your airflow when you're asleep, and it causes you to snore. Many of you may think it's just that it's just a regular snore, or you're just getting good sleep. Snoring can actually also be sleep apnea, which is more than a snore. In the short term, it can result in fatigue. In the long term, it can result in stroke, heart disease, high blood pressure, and these are things that when I was in Puerto Rico for my friend's bachelor's party last year, I was sleeping in the same room as my law school friend, and he woke up the next morning and said, "Bro, you're snoring." And he showed me the video. He's like, "That's not a regular snore, man." And so I got tested a few weeks later, and I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. And so I sought treatment ever since. I've gotten treatment. I've been on a mouth guard. I've also lost about 38 pounds in the last year, 15 in the last 4 or 5 months. I've changed. It scared me to think of all of these health impacts it can have on our lives. And so I kind of want to, that's why I've introduced a bill that would provide free access to testing. At-home sleep tests would make all the difference in the world for our families. So it's kind of a personal touch there, but I think that the personal should drive our politics. Tomorrow, I want to let you know that we're having a pork shoulder giveaway. We're giving out 300 pork shoulders. So if you want to come to my office tomorrow at any time at 9 a.m., from 9 a.m. till supplies last, come on by. We're going to make sure that every one of those pork shoulders get distributed. Regarding containerization, as many of you know, that's coming to all of District Council 9. I'm sure you guys all know about it, given the work we've been doing on that for the past year. Regarding ACE, ACE is a local organization that we partner with, formerly homeless individuals who clean up our neighborhoods. We had a meeting with them today for them to provide more reinforcement for the Broadway malls from 135th up to 145th, and to also include additional streets. So once we have those details, we'll send that over to the community board. Regarding the elevator update on 137th Street, we also recently had a meeting with the MTA. We were told that there's only going to be 2 exits I think it's on the elevator side, on the uptown side. And, there's a lot of, concern now about congestion, right? We know already that those 2 stairs, even with just 2 stairs, there's already congestion there in the evening rush. So there's only gonna be 1 set of stairs. That's a bit concerning to me. They did say that they're expanding the width of the stairs. I'm not sure that that's gonna address the congestion necessarily. I don't know if they're going to add more turnstiles to help with that, but it's something I want to bring to the attention of the community board. It's something we can also work on together. There are going to be some folks tonight from Morningside Heights who are going to talk about Columbia University denying access to local residents on campus. I told someone it's a shame, and she told me, she said, it's not a shame, it's a crime. Columbia, I agree with that sentiment. Columbia, they market themselves as being Columbia University in the city of New York. When you are closing your doors and you're benefiting from the marketing of in the city of New York, that's a big problem. We know the physical impact that has on our older adults, but we also know that Columbia should very much be part of our community. And when they're closing their doors, I think that's a smack to the face of this community. And so we ought to hold them accountable on that, not with just a local pass for local residents. No, it needs to be a full opening of those gates. That's where I stand on that. We have a mulch fest running up until January 12th. New York City Park says, bring your tree to a participating park and help make our city greener with wood chips for our local parks. Regarding holiday sanitation schedule, no trash or recycling collection on Christmas Day. Set out your materials Wednesday night for collection starting Thursday. Expect some delays as DSNY catches up after the holidays. Finally, we have an e-waste recycling event. It's outside of Community Board 9, but anyone can come. It's on 96th Street. It's the Holy Name of Jesus Church on January 18, and you can stop by. I don't have the exact time here. Gabby, is that any time? You can let the community board know, and they'll make sure to post it. Thank you guys all for your partnership. As always, I'm happy to go, but I'm also happy to take questions.
Barry?
Has anyone looked at the agreement between the Department of Transportation from the city? Has anyone looked at the agreement between the City Department of Transportation and Columbia that allowed them to put gates on 116th? Because 116th is a public street that is still ultimately owned by DOT, even though they have an agreement with Columbia that lets them use it. So, the city may actually have some ability to dictate that.
I'll say I don't know the answer to that. I'll look into it.
In 1953, the city gave Columbia, for the price of $1,000, the right to make that street, which was a public street with cars on it, into a non-traffic street. According to the minutes from 1953, there's reference to there continuing to be and requiring to be access for the city to access facilities like fire hydrants, but also a very clear and specific reference to a pedestrian easement. So the fact that there should be the ability for people to walk through is documented, and Columbia landscaped it, allowed people to walk through. Those gates, when they were installed in the 1960s, were a gift from one of the graduating classes, and they were told that I wasn't here, but it was described as decorative. They were never intended to be used as gates to keep people out. It has only been closed, because I live right there, since the protests. And so Columbia is doing this to protect their campus from having protests. And I understand that's a problem, but it's not a problem that we, the citizens of the state of New York, should solve. And I understand that the streets actually belong to the state, and the city has some ability, they hold them in trust for the state, and the state owns them on behalf of the citizens. So I'm not a lawyer, but it is my understanding that Columbia does not have a legal right to close the street. But if you...
Oh. Well, let's just stick with this for now. It was another, Lydia Gerson.
Councilman Gregg, I did contact your office. There is an issue that's of great concern. There's about 250,000 retirees in the city. Do I have microphone?
Lydia.
you're probably well aware of this issue, and I'd like to know what's going on in the city council. I don't know how much money has been spent to try to force 250,000 retirees.
Yeah, so the council's position has been to stay out of this process as the court legal system process takes course. And so far, retirees keeps winning in the courts.
We just won another.
I saw the highest court of appeals won, and so right now you guys are protected. There's going to be the next biggest case in I think is either February or April, and you know we're watching this case very closely in the council. So once that process takes place, I think the council will then figure out what it is, what they believe their role will be at that time. That's my response.
There has been some commentary by certain council people in support.
I
So I
understand.
was hoping you could also be considering that.
I hear you, lady.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We'll take one more because, like I said, we have a long, Walter? Just one thing, Walter.
No. I'll take the next question. I'll talk to him on the side. Hey, that's good. Okay.
All righty. Thanks, Sean Abreu. Appreciate it. Next, we have Ms. Keisha Sutton James from the, okay, Danny O'Donnell, sorry. Welcome. Happy holidays. Thank you. I saw her face.
That's all right. Good evening, everyone. In the words of the late, great Donna Summer, this is my last dance. So after 22 years, I am not have not run for re-election, and so December 31st, I retire. My husband's not interested in me retiring. He's interested in me working, but we'll work that out another way. And I knew that the last place I had to come was here. It's home. It is home to me. And I love to walk into a room with people asking important questions that I know the answers to. It is a great feeling. So yes, the Court of Appeals ruled yesterday that they can't do what they're doing, and the Court of Appeals is entirely correct. Secondly, you're entirely correct, woman in the second row. Columbia is not permitted to do what they do. And I met with the previous president before she quit and told her, you're not allowed to do that. And she said, I know that absolutely. And so in the summer, my staff says August, but who knows, I wrote them a letter reminding them that they are not allowed to do that. And once again, the response was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. They didn't even say we need to do it for safety. They just said, well, things are going on. Okay, so somebody's got to step up, Sean Abreu, I'm looking at the back of you, to tell them they can't violate the law. Okay, they can't do that. And there may be a way for them to do it that allows people to walk and still keeps them off of the main campus. I don't know. But, you know, again, who comes to me? People who see me on the streets come up to me. And the woman came up to me she was in tears because every day she leads from the Bloomingdale community a senior walk, and they walk up Amsterdam Avenue. They end at Nussbaum and Wu on Broadway and have coffee and bagels, and they can't cross from Amsterdam. She said, these are elderly people. I can't put a 12 block detour, you know, so something needs to be done about that. Some sad news, my dear friend Laura Friedman died last week. She was a very, very long-standing, important member of the Morningside Heights community. She was one of my best friends. She's the one who told me I should run for office when I told her I could never win, because I talk back, apparently. So I am heartbroken. The funeral was last Sunday. The Shiva is ongoing now. Her husband, Paul, they were high school sweethearts. And she's 71, she was 71, and they have 2 kids. So my heart breaks for them. And Carol Edmead, who you may not have known, was a phenomenal lawyer and judge, served for a long time on the Supreme Court, and she then became the Manhattan Democratic Commissioner on the Board of Elections. And from what I know from the people who work with that crowd, she was the one clear, consistent, solid voice working in a system that doesn't have a lot of those. So she had a stroke 2 weeks ago and died the next day. She was my friend as well. Keith Wright, our county leader, asked me to take her job as the Democratic Commissioner on the Board of Elections. And I said yes. I wasn't looking for the job because we're about to have this election and we need to make sure the elections are done fairly, but this is how you have to love people in Manhattan. Somebody called me up and said, I want to tell you that we did not get proper notice of the meeting to appoint you. I said, I'm sorry. You didn't get the memo that Carol Edmead was going to die 2 days from now? Like, I mean, she died on Sunday and they had a meeting on Wednesday. They had to do something. Whether or not they had to pick me is a different discussion, but, and then my favorite part of the meeting was the one woman who said, I would like to abstain because I have no idea what the Board of Elections does. I said, great for you. So I just want to thank you for your love and support. I want to thank my dear friend Marita Dunn, who has walked the walk with me, and I've fed her, and we've gone to the opera and the ballet and the theater. We've done all that stuff together, and that all came about because Virginia Fields put me on this board in 1994. I hope that Micah, who does not live up here, will continue to be as involved in the issues that you bring forward. The one thing all my staff has been trained to do is if I get a resolution from Community Board 9, you were to send a letter that day supporting the resolution of Community Board 9. I don't do that for Community Board 7, but we won't discuss that. And I tell everyone, going to Community Board 7 is like going to a corporate board of directors meeting, and going to Community Board 9 is like going to church. And I'd rather go to church than the board of directors meeting. So, amen. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to, if they let me take them, I'd be happy to answer them. Yes. Thank you. So the funny thing I'll tell you is a couple of years ago, I had some very bad health stuff. I was in Columbia Presbyterian for 2 weeks. Don't do that. But my surgeon finally admitted he was afraid of me. I said, why would you be afraid of me? He said, well, you talk back. I said, yes, I talk back. So it's important to be an advocate for yourself. It's important to be advocates for communities, particularly for communities who the city and the state government have chosen to ignore the entire time I've lived here. And I've lived down on 111th Street since 1990. So thank you for welcoming me. I'll come back just to see and hang out, check in on Eutha, see if she's holding the fort down. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was special. The next speaker is Keisha Sutton-James from Borough President's Office. Hey, lady.
Thank you. Good. Were you giving me a hug? Is that what I was getting? All right. I'll take a hug because we're in church. We're not at the board meeting. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hello to the executive. Hello to CB9. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, good. I'll be super brief because that's my job. I'm supposed to be brief. So a few things. One, first of all, I've never met many of you in person. Even though I live just down the street, I've been to your meetings virtually, but not in person. I know many of you, but many I don't. I'm Keisha Sutton James, I'm Deputy Manhattan Borough President, but I am a lifelong Central Harlem resident, a fifth generation Harlem girl. So I'm your neighbor, and I just want to say hello from that perspective. And most importantly, I have to say happy holidays to everybody because we are in the season. Don't get me started on where I am with my shopping. It's not a pretty thing. But on the business of the borough president, a couple things. One, very recently, I think it was like a week and a half ago, the borough president, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, and council member Keith Powers put out an op-ed around sheds and the issues with sheds and scaffolding that we all know about because we live with them all the time. But obviously, you know, it's more than an eyesore. There are safety concerns. There are real public safety concerns, if not at least perceived public safety concerns. I encourage all of you to go to the borough president's website, pull down that op-ed, and learn more about what our recommendations are, because I'll be quick again. Community board applications. To all of you who are actually serving on the board and anyone who intends to apply for the board. So reapplicants and applicants, our application will be dropping in mid-January. So you have been forewarned. It is coming. We're going to need all of you to apply/reapply. Moving on, just today, this is hot off the press. The borough president started off the day, many of you may have seen, he was on New York One with the announcing the release of what's it called? Report, if you will, called A Roadmap to Universal Childcare, Closing the Gap, closing the 0 to 2 gap. There are over 441,000 children under 5 residing in New York City, with 80% of families finding the cost of childcare too expensive. Some people spend a full 20% many people spend a full 20% of their income on childcare. I'm sure many of you have experienced this. I know I did personally. So there are a number of recommendations. Actually, before I get to the recommendations, I should also say very importantly that this issue is a huge one that impacts, overly impacts single-family homes, lower and middle income families, as well as obviously workforce and people of color, frankly. So there are a few recommendations. There are a number, but I will go through them very quickly. I'll just pull up 3. Proposes the expansion of pre-K and 3K to kids 6 weeks to 2 years old. So for anybody who has been through this and didn't know what you were going to do with your child because you needed to go back to work at 6 weeks or sooner, this would be a great help. Also proposes a New York City newborn support program, which would get cash into the hands of new parents, and also announces a series of reforms needed for providers and families to provide care. That series of reforms is pretty extensive, so I will not take you through it there, but please go to the Manhattan Borough President's website so you can learn more about this proposal. As I said, I am a mom. I'm sure that many of you have been through the same scenario. It's exceedingly difficult to just take care of your children, pay your rent, pay your whatever, and work. And this is some of the work that we're doing to try to close that gap and make life more livable and make New York City more affordable for New York City families. And with that, I will say happy holidays. If you have any questions, if the board will allow me to take questions. Okay, with that, happy holidays, everybody. Be well.
Great. Thank you so much, Keisha. Appreciate it. Okay, at this point, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the agenda for this evening. Second, and to adopt the minutes with any necessary corrections. Okay, great. I'm going to jump into the chair's report. That's been distributed. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm going to hit some highlights. First and foremost, December 5th, Palante Harlem honored our own Eutha Prince. It was a fantastic evening and well-deserved for all the work. Yes, he went home with a truckload of awards and certificates. So, Columbia expansion. First Vice Chair, myself, Barry Weinberg, been working with State Senator Carl Clare as far as Columbia's expansion into West Harlem. We meet, what do you mean, monthly now? Weekly almost sometimes. It's still, yeah, we're meeting tomorrow, just to make sure they live up to the community benefits agreement, and we're looking for more affordable housing, looking for more health care and other items like that as they build this huge building across the street. Why can't some residents live in there? That's our question. Nothing at the moment is going to be student housing. Why can't we set aside some apartments for at least seniors? Let's start there. With seniors, let them live there as well. So we're still negotiating those things, and hopefully that will work itself out, along with CB10 is working with us as well, and 11. So we'll keep you posted on that. The Emma Bowen temporary relocation, they will be moving from 145th in Amsterdam to 135th Street right here in the middle of the block between Broadway and Amsterdam for approximately 3 to 5 years as they tear down the building, 1727 Amsterdam, build supportive housing, they'll be moving back in there. So we're keeping a close eye on that. Myself and the health co-chair, Laquita Henry, did a tour about 2 weeks ago of the building and looking at all the service they provide. And there's some good things for them. You know, there's a food pantry, there's preschool there for children with needs. So we're keeping a very close eye on that as we move forward. At which location? That's still an issue, yeah, that we're working on. But I'll take your information and be in touch with you. Yes. Definitely. As I mentioned before, we participated in the Holiday Lights Parade with several other floats. It was fantastic. They had watch parties at different locations. Young people, old people, bars, restaurants all came out to welcome us as we went through. I just thought it was such a bright spot for the community with everything that's happening, to have something like that for people to be inspired and see something very positive. So I look forward to that every year, and this year was exceptional, and we had the best float, hands down. We did. And the best DJ. We definitely had that. So that's it for my report. Like I said, most of it's there. Any questions on anything I've spoken about? I'll be around after to speak as well. Barry.
The Deputy Borough President just wanted to add that
Here you go.
their office is aware that Columbia is offering passes for people who live near their campus to cross, but is also aware and of the position that that is not an adequate or acceptable solution to the problem.
Alrighty. Next up, Treasurer's Report.
So good evening, everyone, and happy holidays. The Treasurer's Report is in your packet. As you can review, you can see where we are for 6 months into FY 2025, with most of our expenses going to equipment, cleaning, as well as communications. God bless you. Have a happy holiday.
Good evening, all. The district manager's report is included in your packet. I have a few highlights, but before I get into my highlights, I have to go back and thank those that attended that memorable occasion, that the gala at Palante. The chair of the board, Victor Edwards, first vice chair, Barry Weinberg, second vice chair, Monique Harding Cordero, former board chairs, Marita Dunn, Reverend Georgette Morgan Thomas, board members Annette Robinson, Walter Alexander, along with my family, my sister in the back. I can't thank you guys enough for sharing that occasion with me. Words cannot express the gratitude that I felt that night, and I think I conveyed it. I haven't seen the tape yet, but people have been telling me, but it was heartfelt, and I can't thank you guys enough, and I couldn't have shared it with a better group of individuals. Thank you, and thank you all. I have a few highlights or additions to my report. We know it's holiday time. The West Harlem Holiday Food Festival will take place starting Saturday, December 21st, through and including January 4th, from 135th Street through and including 155th, St. Nicholas to Broadway. Local restaurants and bars are serving family favorites and traditional holiday dishes. Flyers are available at the information table. And as we know, winter holidays are a time to celebrate with loved ones, but also a time for fires, unfortunately. They occur more than often. 1/3 of home fires occur during the months of December, January, and February. So it's very important to celebrate safely and have a holiday. We have holiday safety tips available at the information table. And to wrap up the holiday season, by saying goodbye to your tree at a Mulch Fest site near you. Drop off your trees to the Parks Department locations located at the information table at various sites on January 11th and 12th between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Please check the QR code on the flyers at the information table as well. And last but not least, the M4104 Northern terminal changes will become in effect on January 5th, that's Sunday. The Amsterdam/126 bus stop will be eliminated. Customers can wait at the 2 new stops established at 129th and Amsterdam and 125th. The Amsterdam and 125th stop will share the existing stop with the M11, the M100, and the M101. We have diagrams on the table that will show you exactly the elimination and the 2 new bus stops. If you have any questions, raise your hand. Thank you. And I want to thank so many for coming out and sharing this meeting or partaking in the holidays with us. I see we have another former chair in the audience, Pat Moore John. Thank you. And we also have a young man, if you would rise, who I actually saw grow up on 125th and 126th Street. He's the son that I never had. And I'm so glad that he's joining us tonight. If you want to come up and say hello. I saw this young man grow up from a little boy to such a responsible young man and a great addition to our community.
Hello, everyone. I'm Matthew Brov. I'm from 126 in Old Broadway, but I reside in Manhattanville and Grant. My kids grew up in both of these areas. My mom still lives here on 126, but my second mom, Yutha, she worked with me right here on 26. She watched me change from like a young kid. You know, we kids, we're not really trying to terrorize, but we just don't know what to do being kids. But then I found ways, and they gave me the resources and the light that I needed to know the path to take and be a better man today. So now I'm here at the board meeting because I want to show the youth, like, it's better things to do than just be running the street and not knowing what to do. Like, you could start off young and be in the council meetings and meet people. You could come to the council meeting as a youth and meet people. You could work with the NYPD. Right now I work with legal aid. I was locked up. I have felonies, but I changed my ways thanks to youth. She like, you could change, like, I know you're a leader, you could teach these kids, they watch you, and I never knew, like, I didn't know people was always watching me and I was a leader until youth showed me, and now I'm here today and I'm a great man, and I just want to pay it forward to the youth.
Thank you, and that concludes my report. Oh, before it doesn't conclude it, I have to thank, as you know, Community Board 9 is looking for a community associate, and I don't want those that have submitted their resumes to think that it's on deaf's door, deaf's ear. It's not. We are reviewing the applications, and we are looking to have interviews the beginning of the year. So in January, the first or second week. If you know anyone interested, please contact us at the district office. And I'd like to thank my community associate, Haikil Ellerstein. Haikil, if you could raise your hand. Haikil has gone above and beyond the call of duty. Has been he and I since Madison left us.
Thank you.
In September. So we've been covering committee meetings, board meetings, district service cabinets. I mean, district service cabinet, they know me, but they don't know me anymore because Haikil chairs the meetings and so superbly, and I can't thank you enough, Haikil. Thank you.
So,
Carolyn Thompson is submitting her application for community associate.
we'll take it in consideration. So before we go any further, my parents always said to me, give people their flowers while they're still here. And so these are for you. These are for you from the board, from the board.
And there's more.
For your office. These are pictures that were taken at the event by myself. I framed it and put it together for you.
That looks nice, very nice. Let's do some smiles. Say CB9. CB9. Thank you all. All right.
Oh.
Contribute to the refreshments. I also like to thank the contributors to our refreshments tonight. We have one in person, Jalissa from Mofunga. Thank you so much. I also would like to thank Dinosaur Barbecue. They're not in person, but I want it on record. And also, last but not least, West Side Market. Thank you. And all the board members that helped listen to my complaints and my thank yous. And I have to stand up for this one. I want to thank my family in the back who is serving the food tonight. They come through every time for me. All they say is where, when, and what time. So I can't thank you enough. My brother-in-law, Owen, my sister, Venus, my niece, Bria, and my grandson, Brody. Thank you.
All right, jump back into reports. West Harlem Development Corp. Report. Pat Watler Johnson. Barry.
And happy holidays, everyone. We had our board of directors meeting yesterday, and at the time I did this report, I didn't have the agenda, so I couldn't put anything on there. But I wanted to let you know the agenda included talking about the progress reports for the community. I'm sorry. Ms. Dunn. We were late because we were at a seniors event. We were at the Seniors Coalition event. So I'm sorry I'm late. I'm never late to these meetings. So please accept my apologies for being late today. We were at the Harlem School of the Arts for the, I know, just keep going, right? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And WHTC had sponsored Harlem Day at the Jackie Robinson Museum. Also, 1,000 turkeys were donated by WHTC to various not-for-profits, including the 26th Precinct and the 30th Precinct in the West Harlem area. There was also a distribution of 5,000 toys and books to several not-for-profit organizations throughout the district. So that's what have been on my agenda. Also, I included information about congratulations to Milton Tingling and WHDC for being listed as City and State Magazine's 2024 Trailblazers in Economic Development, New York's notable job creators and business boosters. So the link, you can go to the City and State website and see that information. Other events that are coming up that are sponsored by WHDC, the Uptown Holiday Market will be on December 14th, 21st, and the 28th at the Jackie Robinson Band Shell. Let me see, Community Christmas Caroling, Gwendolyn Black, I don't know if she's here, but they have it's the 4th annual year-end holiday celebration and community Christmas caroling on Saturday, December 21st at Denny Farrell Riverbank State Park. And also the intergenerational community singing. Every Voice Choirs presents Every Voice Cornerstone Choir intergenerational community singing Saturdays from 3 to 4, kids ages 7 to 17 and their trusted adults at the Grant Cornerstone Community Center, 1301 Amsterdam Avenue. Are there any questions? Yes, Annette. You have more? New appointees? You mean like employees or appointees to the board? Yes, well, at the November meeting, I believe it was, or the October, whatever it was, CB9 had voted to have Barry Weinberg as an additional representative to, or one of 2 representatives, I'm one, and CB9 voted to have him as the additional representative. That has to be voted on by the board, and for what my understanding is, they do that at the annual meeting. I know the annual meeting will be in either January or February. Well, he will know. I mean, Barry, you will know, because you'll be invited to the meeting, as a part of the process. But I think that after it happens, we will definitely make sure that everyone knows about it. Hi, Joyce. I'm sorry. Hi, Joyce. Wow, awesome. Awesome. That is wonderful, and congratulations to you for all the hard work that you do as a president of the Community Council. You do such a wonderful job, Joyce. You know I love you to pieces, but you do such a wonderful job, and thank you for all the work that you do. And I know this isn't part of my statement, but I would like to just say something. It was such a joy to see Assemblyman Daniel O'Donnell here. And I kept thinking to myself that I wonder if we as a board are going to congratulate or honor not only Assemblyman O'Donnell, but Assemblywoman Inez Dickens in recognition of their service to the community. So it was such a joy to see him here. Also, Councilman Abreu, also Deputy Borough President Keisha Sutton James. It's just a pleasure to be here. We were at a seniors event that's also part of the Seniors Coalition, and I saw some people there, but I'm glad to see you all. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, Ms. Dunn, and I wish everyone a happy and blessed holiday, and youth, congratulations to you for all you do. Thank you.
All right, I think. Next, we're going to go into public session, which is administrated by our first Vice Chair, Barry Weinberg. 3 minutes for each speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And if the person who speaks can speak into the mic so that everyone can hear, that would be great. Our first speaker is...
All right, so we'll do it after the public session.
Okay. Phil Alfrey? Come on down. You'll have 3 minutes, and you'll hear an alarm when your time is up. You are, of course, welcome to take lessons.
Hello, everyone, community members, Sugar Hill, Hamilton Heights. My name is Phil Alfrey. I'm from Morningside Heights. I came here tonight to talk about Columbia University, particularly, and Morningside Heights issues. The smaller issues are on 116th Street and Morningside Drive, All the lights, street lights are out, and I've been calling the city for a year, and no results. Now, you know, there's a lot, that's a high crime area. We've had a bunch of murders there, muggings, you know, the whole 9 yards. 2 weeks ago, I had a girl had her phone grabbed, you know, a block away from where I was, and, you know, so we need that. Secondly, there's a security booth there, doesn't have cameras that cover the area. It's an old booth, and the monitor for the cameras has been broken for a year. And I've told security there for Columbia, like, you know, you're gonna fix this stuff? You can't see out the windows, they're cracked. When it's foggy or damp, it fogs up in the front. The security guard can't see out the front. And I've reported this stuff to them numerous times with no action. The main reason I'm here tonight is to talk about the crosswalk on 116th Street between Broadway and Amsterdam. I put together a petition with 87 signatures from 4 or 5 buildings, just, you know, just word of mouth. And I presented that in October to the security of Columbia University, to Student Services that issues IDs, and to the residential board. And I never received any information from them. In November 18th, I sent the petition to the Office of the President, and I've never heard back from them. So I gave them another call today, and basically Columbia has chosen to ignore the situation. Recently, Building 54 and 50 on Morningside Drive were issued IQ codes, Tina can talk about that, to let those people pass. Those buildings were part of the petition. I live right on 116th Street in Amsterdam. I've got hundreds of videos of these students riding till 4 in the morning with the blowhorns, you know, from the river to the sea, from the sea to the river, you know, kill, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And it goes on all day. We haven't been able to walk around through the campus. We have to walk around to 114th Street, where they have all the garbage out all the time. And then they have these camps with tents, and there's like 1.5 feet for both people going both ways to pass. And it's like, you know, come on. My mom is 97 years old. We got senior citizens, 95, 92. My neighbor from 118th Street, when they tore down that building where we lived, she's 92. She still lives on 118. And they wouldn't give her. She talked to the council member now, just recently, you know, saying, hey, can I, you know, walk through the campus? I can't keep going around and around. But no, we get no result, no nothing. So I think it's not really about a legal issue. To me, it's about the politics of ignoring the community. And if you've lived here long enough, I've been here since the 50s, you know Columbia is not a good community neighbor, per se. They are rough and tough, they evict, they do a lot of stuff. Now, in this case here, even when they were digging a hole in Columbia, in Morningside Park to put in a...
We are at 3 minutes. That was the alarm, but I thank you for your comments.
Yeah.
And they're important. Next up, we have Janelle Carter-Bowman from the George Bruce Library.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Janelle Carter-Bowman. I'm the library manager of the George Bruce Library, located just down the block at 518 West 125th Street. For our community members that don't know, we have reopened as of April 15th. A lot of our community members think we are still closed, and I'm here to let you know we are open. So please come and check us out. We had a wonderful mini renovation here. We have wonderful new HVAC, new boiler, all thanks to Community Board 9 also supporting us with getting the money for this budget. So I do want to thank you for that. And I just here to just talk about some wonderful new initiatives and programs that is happening now and also coming for the new year. So the first one, just to go along with the winter holiday, we are having a winter celebration for our children from babies up to 12 tomorrow at 3 p.m. on our children's room floor down the street. Your kids can come dressed in costume, and we're making it fun. We're gonna have activities, games, and prizes for them. So if you and your kids are available tomorrow afternoon, please come down the street to the library, and we'll have fun and games for them. Also, as a reminder, one of our big programs that we've been asking for years for the community is our drop-in homework help program. It's called NYPL After School. We are very lucky that our location has this program. This is a free tutoring program for children ages 6 through 12. There is a dedicated tutoring team just dedicated to this program to help your children with their homework needs. So this program happens Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6 p.m. The schedule is aligned with the Department of Education, so when school is open, we have the program. When school is closed, we don't have the program, so we'll be off for next week. But please, this is a much-needed resource in this community to have free tutoring. We know tutoring and homework help is very, very expensive. So we're very privileged and happy that we have this service here at the library, so I hope that you take advantage of it. Also, some programs we just got finalized that we're also very excited about is Shape Up NYC will be bringing a free bodyweight circuit training class. This will be starting Saturday, January 4th. It'll be every Saturday from 11:30 to 12:15, so please come down Saturday and get an hour just to improve your wellness and to improve your health. And it's free of charge. You don't have to come, just come, bring your excitement and come and socialize with your community members and just have an hour of fitness. So this will be happening Saturday, January 4th from 11:30 to 12:15 p.m. The last new thing that is happening in a couple weeks, one of our amazing playwrights, and also he produces some of our programs. Real quick, it's called a Theater Studies program. It's going to be the first Saturday of every month starting January 4th, 1 to 2:30. So if you are interested in theater and practicing your craft, please come out January 4th, 1 to 2:30. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. And don't forget to send us any other things you would like funded for the library. So we can let the city know how important they are, because we always love our libraries. Next up, I have Anita Chang. Yes. Oh. Is the tutoring K through 12? 6 to 12 years. Got it. Okay. Should we do it now or at the end? At the end. Okay. We will come back to Anita Chang because there's a video involved. And there's the link. Okay. Oh, man. We got to let this guy speak. Walter T. Alexander. Come on down. Love you, Walter.
Friends and families, I got a big mouth. I probably won't need the microphone. I might bust the damn microphone, my big mouth.
And just remember, it's 3 minutes.
It's 3 minutes. I got two things to talk about. Something was just given to me. Tina Ashley said that her Morningside was just turned into a PAC, and they put it's a scaffolding, which good. So somebody knows about it. So we need to talk about that too. But I'm really here to talk about the RKO Hamilton, which sits on 146th Street and Broadway. At one time, we had a task force. We were even allowed to go inside to take pictures of it. They renovated the King's Theater in Brooklyn. They renovated the theater on Broadway. They even raised the theater up a whole floor. They renovated the 175th and on Broadway. We need to start renovating the theater in our own area. Not in addition to just renovating the theater, there's an adjacent parcel on the side which has been sitting vacant, which would be fine and excellent for senior housing and artists. So we would like to develop that property, to put up some housing there. It would be good for politicians, it would be good for the neighbors. We also had an artist in residence, so we had got this started. It fell off by the wayside because of COVID. The former person who was in charge of it, he's doing other things now, so I volunteered to resurrect this. Now, thank you. I have limited experience with politicians. I have limited experience with fundraising, and I would love for anybody in the community who want to be involved, please come. I can use everybody's ideas. That would be I don't know, we have 2 colleges in our catchment area, Columbia and City College, who have architectural programs. So hopefully, or positively, they can come in and take a look to see what really needs to be done, how much money. I just found out that Clinton, who loves Harlem, has a foundation. We got the Ford Foundation. We got some other ones. I'm not going to ask about the man that's going to go into the office, the White House now. We ain't going to talk about him. But there's still a lot of money out there and a lot of foundations. So if we can I need your ideas. I need anything, and then I'm willing to do the footwork. Just help me help y'all. So, did I do under 3 minutes? Now, can I use my 30 seconds to sing my Christmas carol? Well, first Noel, the angels did say. Yes. Who's talking to me?
Walter, you gotta get a hand.
Yes. 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 It was a theater when I was a kid. I used to go there as a kid. Okay. Thank you. And as the other theaters in the city that were closed up and money was, I don't know what money they used to bring it up. But there's money out there. So I mean, let's get this show on the road. Yes, Sally.
That was good.
No. Mm. Yep. Right. Yes.
So, and that's
Tina Reuter next. Yes, give him your name and number.
That's Christine.
Oh, yes, maybe I can get sign a piece of paper or something.
Here, I can give you a piece.
Thank you.
No, we can do that after you talk. No.
Here's a piece of paper. Walter?
Yes. I'm going to pass this around, so just put your name and put contact, email or phone number, either or. I know you, honey. I'm going to get you anyway. Okay, just pass it around. I'm going.
Hi, I just want to tell you what I've done so far about this Columbia street closure. I started walking through with the guards yelling at me and telling me I'm not allowed to walk through. And I told them that it's a public street. They said, you need Columbia ID. I said, I don't have one, I don't need one. And I walked through a bunch of times over one weekend, and then I stopped when one of the guards said, if you keep this up, we're going to charge you with trespassing. And I have not yet been arrested, and I want to have my ducks lined up before I get arrested, because I'm sure it'll be unpleasant if that happens. So then my neighbor put together a legal brief to try and sue Columbia and force them, and I was a plaintiff on that. And we talked about the harms that the closure has caused us. Then Columbia decided, very cleverly, because they're not dumb, to give the people in my building and the next door building a QR code that with ID we can walk through. And then once we have that, we can no longer claim we have a harm caused because now we can walk through. So, but of course, Columbia can terminate that QR code anytime they want. So we're struggling with this legal strategy. I've talked to people in the media, and ABC News said they would talk to me, and they want people who want to go on TV. I don't really want to go on TV, but I will, but I don't want to go alone. And I haven't found anybody else who's willing to go on TV with me. And I also thought, if Columbia won't do anything, I'm sure Fox News would love to complain about this and do a story about that, which I don't really want to consort with the enemy, but I'm pretty frustrated that nobody seems to have any power to do anything about this. And I don't really think that it's right that I should be threatened with being charged with a crime for walking across the street. And I don't blame the guards because they're just doing their job. They're doing what they're told to do. It's not their fault, and I don't want to put them in a position, but I am super angry that so many people are really struggling. People from the hospital, Google Maps tells them to walk through campus, and strangers have asked me, how do I get to Broadway? Because Google Maps is telling them to walk through campus, and then they run into these guards and these gates. So I don't know what to do, because talking to the politicians, they all are, I'm sorry if there's any politicians here, but I think they're afraid of Columbia. And Columbia's got so much money and so much power, and we don't. And so the politicians, they keep telling me, oh, I haven't talked to the politicians. I've talked to their people who work in their office, and they tell me their bosses know, and they tell me their bosses are talking to Columbia, but that doesn't do anything.
Thank you, Tina. Yutha, can we get the video up for Anita? No, scroll down. There's no one else in the interim. Yeah, just give it a little, there you go, that one. And then we have to share the screen and the audio on Zoom so the online can see it.
While they're working on that, I just wanted to say that we made a few interviews this summer so people could talk about their ideas of housing and home, because data is very important, but I think people's lives are also very important. And so we can use both of those things together to understand what it's like to live and be part of West Harlem and to make our lives here.
Walter, initial T like Thomas, Alexander.
My full name is Marita Bernice Bernadette Bess Worrell Dunn. Is that enough a name? And it's all mine.
My name is Victor Edwards.
My name is Lydia Gerson. Tiffany Khan. Tina Lumley. Arelis Mejia.
I'm Andres Orejuela.
My parents, they're both hard workers, both civil servants, worked in the city. They were immigrants from the West Indies, my dad would say. Your name represents you, If someone says your name, it's like, good person to work with, or whatever. The household that we had was like, always put your best foot forward.
I think that one of the great benefits that we have is that we're allowed to say what we would like. Perhaps we shouldn't at times. There's a part of my character that likes a good fight, comes in. Having grown up in New York City, I've seen this sort of, scrappy aspect of living here. I'm sort of amenable to the idea that people's lives are very complex, contradictory, paradoxical even. And so that allows me some sense of tolerance and openness. But I also am very clear about my own views and unwilling to sort of remain quiet about them, because I don't think that helps anyone, right?
In 2014, there was a fire that took place right here on 136th Street, and this, poor tenant who doesn't speak English, who can't defend themselves. I would translate those documents for them. So it really is heartbreaking. That building was entirely rent regulated, either rent controlled or rent stabilized, 25 units. Need to be aware of. Sub-rehabs or substantial rehabilitations are the loophole that landlords use to destabilize buildings.
When I became chair of the community board, my first thing to fix was those West Harlem piers. Because when I first moved over to this park, that's where all the Black people went to fish. And in the summer, you would go at night and fish, and they would all come. And different women would cook and give you the food. Hey, you want something to eat? Hey, you want a drink? It was a big family, the piers. So when the piers started to go down, I became the chair. So that's why they look the way they look now. They were falling I fought for the piers to get the piers you see today are the ones I fought for.
My daughter just graduated from Berklee College of Music. Now she's coming back from college. She's wondering, okay, Mom, but how am I supposed to afford an apartment now? It's becoming very expensive to live, even in these neighborhoods. I mean, it's like kind of cliche, but it's this area specifically where you see African Americans, you see Dominicans, and a lot of other Hispanic group as well, Mexicans, their parents and other generations that have been able to stay here for a while now have to move, and that's changing a lot in this area. But it's still a great neighborhood.
I got my apartment in 1978, and I've been there since then. My apartment is kind of small. It's a narrow bedroom. The living room is pretty big, but it's comfortable, and I'm in the back now, so any rah-rah in the front, I don't hear none of that, you know. But my cat comes and jumps on the arm of the chair, so she sits there for hours, you know. So and watch my TV. It's my TV watcher, I like TV. Yeah.
And for Christmas, I was a big TV person, and I love infomercials. And whatever the infomercial was for that particular year, I would run out to the McCory's and purchase it. So if it was a beer maker, an ice cream maker, Vitameter, Vegemeter, whatever, and it would chop and dice and whatever, I would buy that thing, and she was so ecstatic whenever I give her whatever box I was giving her that was wrapped with whatever the latest thing on television was. And I never thought about it. I never saw these things after Christmas. I never saw it again. But it just didn't dawn on me. It didn't dawn on me. After my mother died, I went into her closet, and in the back, neatly piled on top of one another, were all my Christmas gifts. That beer maker, she kept them all.
Yes, my home is my sanctuary of my cats. You know, my little, what they call fur babies, whatever. I can take care of them, you know, and shut it all out. So it absolutely sanctuary, and that's why I believe so strongly in the right for everybody to have a place where they can lay their head, that they can protect themselves from the weather, they can clean themselves, they can boil water for tea. You know, I mean, the bottom line for all of this, what we're talking about for me, is that housing is a sacred right. I believe everybody has a right to have a roof over their head.
You guys, I forgot to say that I made a first cut of this that was 3 hours long, which I'm sure no one will watch. But I'm making another cut. It's about 30 minutes. And there'll be one probably like 45 minutes, and that'll be released in just a few weeks. So this was just a small teaser.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to season
They
2
did
of
great,
On the
right?
Avenue.
They were all great.
For those who may be viewing for
Okay. I don't know how to close that. What if I just did that?
Anyone else?
No one else in public session.
All right. So that ends our public session portion. We're going to move into action items. First action item is the letter of support for the Emma Bowen Center coming out of the Health Committee. Laquita Henry.
I have a friendly amendment.
Oh.
I would like if we could amend the letter on the first, thank you. On the first line of the letter where it says, on behalf of Manhattan Community Board 9, we are pleased to express our support for the temporary relocation of the Emma Bowen Center. I think it should be amended to say, on behalf of Manhattan Community Board 9, we are pleased to express our support for the financial assistance for the temporary relocation, because I do not support the relocation of that center from 145th Street in Amsterdam, but they do need the money to build out the temporary space. So I don't want us ever being misinterpreted on the record that we support this project.
That's fine with me.
Cool.
Okay. And as you can read, the primary reason for the letter is that Oasis wants a record of, an official record that the Emma Bowen Center has temporarily relocated. They had the Oasis grant some years in the past, and then it was discontinued. And once it was resumed, I believe earlier this year, more monies came into a number of agencies that had formerly, some that had formerly had the project. So of course, if you've been keeping up with everything at 1727 Amsterdam, as Barry was saying, this, it's been a contentious issue, but the Bowen Center has been a important partner, community health partner, and an important one in the area. They participate with us, and our chair, Victor Edwards, and I had a chance to see the temporary location, and I hope more of you will call if you want to visit. But it's very well done, very well laid out. The construction is very mindful of the services that will take place there. It's really nicely done on 135th Street. So it is a temporary location, as Victor had referenced earlier, anywhere 3 to 5 years. And hopefully they'll be going back to 1727 Amsterdam.
Call for a vote.
Unanimous consent?
With Barry's amendment.
Yeah, Laquita agreed to them, so they're friendly.
Any opposed, board members, to this? Hearing none, we'll move forward. Passes. I'll sign it. Thank you, Laquita. With the friendly amendment, yes. Next action item will be the liquor licenses. Solomon and Carolyn? I thought I saw.
All of the liquor licenses have been approved by the various precincts. They've been vetted. I've checked them with the spam. There's been no issues whatsoever, so they've all been approved.
Okay. Any questions on that? All been approved? Okay. Question?
What do we take? Just a sec. 132 Hamilton Place? 143. No, 132. It's 132. 132 Hamilton Place. It's
Okay.
It's not here, but I seen it. It was tabled because you wanted to verify. It was tabled.
Okay, so you're saying that, so questionnaire was sent?
Questionnaire was sent and they were invited to the UST meeting.
For when?
Well, they were invited for January.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Salento Colombian Cafe and Restaurant.
Right, which was sent. It was sent to the precinct, yes, it was.
Right, then.
So it hasn't been approved.
It's not, it hasn't been approved yet.
It was on the agenda last month.
Right.
Yes, it was.
So it'll be up for the next meeting, UST meeting?
Should we bring it off the
Well, we
table?
should bring it off.
It has to come off the table.
I move that we add to the agenda a vote on the tabled item from last month for a new liquor license for Salento Colombian Cafe and Restaurant at 132 Hamilton Place in zip code 1003 one, it sounds like the precinct had no objection.
Right.
There's no issues with that, officer, that restaurant? Okay.
I request unanimous consent for that one, too.
So we're going to add this to,
So that'll be number 7.
under a new liquor license. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up, sir. Appreciate that. Anything else on the liquor license?
I move that we approve the 3 new liquor license applications for Malacone Express, Sweet Bar Lounge, I thought that had it, whatever, and Salento Colombian by unanimous consent.
One abstention? Two abstentions. Ms. Corwell and, yes.
So Heather Caldwell and I'm sorry, Heather Caldwell. Reverend Caldwell and Heather Jason both abstained. On the 3 new liquor licenses, which are items 2, 3, and 7 on your sheet, 7 you have to handwrite in. 7 is Salento Colombian Cafe and Restaurant. With an O, not a U, in case anyone decides to vent their anger. Okay. Oh wait, no, it goes to Carolyn. Oh, she's got it.
Oh, what's the next one? Oh. Okay. So the Grand Slam is a renewal without a problem. 30th precinct approved it.
Gotta speak up.
Chino's Corpus was approved with no problem. And Cochino, yeah, no, oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, those 2 were approved with no problem.
Okay.
I move that we vote in favor of the renewals of those 2 liquor license applications by unanimous consent.
Yes. 2 abstentions, be noted. Okay.
The Cochino is a class change. One of the principal is moving out to the other one. That's all it is a class change. Just a change of ownership, right.
I move that we, and there's no issue with that?
The primary stays is just the partner that's moving out. Okay, that's all.
I move that we support the class change for Cocina Consuelo to reflect the change in ownership by unanimous consent.
2 abstentions?
Well, you know
Gotcha.
it's only 2
Thank you.
ones that don't drink.
Anything else on liquor licenses?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you. I think I mentioned this at the executive board meeting. Going forward, we're looking to make some changes to the way liquor licenses are handled. We want a little more transparency as far as when the reports come back, they will go to all the members of UST so they can see what the survey coming back from the establishments are. And we're looking at putting signs in the windows of the establishment letting the community know that they're either having a new license or renewing their license, so people know and they can come out and make comments in this session right here. Okay? So we're working on that. Thank you. Moving forward, any old business? Any new business? Okay, hearing none of those 2 items, motion to adjourn would be in order. Walter? You can. Yeah, see me after class. We are adjourned.